If you understand what I explained to you now, it will help you to cut down the roots of your anxiety and frustration. We are a combination of masculine and feminine energies because we are born from both father and mother who represent those natures. And speaking about masculine, it represents confidence, ability to set the boundaries, ability to stand up for yourself, respect, social recognition, good job opportunities, career growth, ability to earn money, physical strength, courage, and also male roles. The feminine nature in us represents our softness, our ability to be empathetic, caring, loving. Emotional intelligence also represented by feminine energy. Calmness, humility, acceptance, ability to accumulate resources, grow someone, maintain the resources. And speaking about those two energies, they are divine energies that everyone receives through their mother and father, and therefore mothers and fathers are actually representatives of the masculinity and femininity in everyone's life. So when we are in contact with our femininity and masculinity, we are experiencing happiness, we feel the abundance of the above mentioned resources. And what actually brings us to the conclusion that we carry both feminine and masculine programs, psychological programs. And these programs, they manifest themselves in life through their through our desires, through our emotions, decision making, actions, and events. And those programs, they represent our subconscious. Therefore, the interaction of the masculine and feminine in a person is very individual and is considered a so-called psychological field. Speaking about the psychological field, I mean the subconscious. Why the subconscious is so important? Why is it important to understand it? Because our subconscious creates 90% of events, circumstances, feelings, opportunities or lack of them in our life. In other words, we live in programs of our mind, of our intelligence, and of our ego. And when we are in harmony, when we are in contact with those energies, it is called natural happiness, or also people may call it good karma or good fortune. And we may feel how we are in contact with our true self. But when we are disconnected with those energies, we may feel anxiety, lack of self-confidence, desire to keep everything under the control, and we block ourselves from relationships and opportunities. So therefore, when that contact is broken with either feminine or masculine natures, we start creating alternative options to experience happiness, to satisfy our needs. So for example, speaking about happiness, happiness is a natural state of a person. When we are in contact with masculine or feminine nature, we experience that happiness naturally. But when the contact is broken, we can feel happiness only through alternative ways, such as achievements, encouragements, power, work, and etc. Alternative ways of getting happiness create false opinions about ourselves. So for example, a person who cannot experience natural happiness may think, oh, I cannot be happy without work. I cannot be happy without relationship. I am afraid to rest because I feel anxious, because I feel depressed, and etc. So thus we create a false ego, which means it's an opinion about ourselves which is not true. And as a result, we may feel completely lost, anxious, willing to keep everything under the control, because we lose the contact with the reality and we lose ourselves and we may not see the way out. So those programs of masculine and feminine, they can be both positive and they can be negative. How is it? The principle itself is imprinted in our psychology in the image. So for example, masculinity is imprinted as an image of our father, and femininity is imprinted in our subconscious as an image of our mother. And talking about our parents, we are not talking about them themselves. So it doesn't mean that we're talking about the relationships with our mother and father, but we are talking about our memory of them, how we remember them, what conclusions we made about them. And therefore, our internal image, which is the image of father or the image of mother, may not coincide with the real person, with the real father or mother's character. So even if you don't remember your father or your mother, the subconscious carries that memory within itself, which becomes evident in the events and the circumstances that we are experiencing. So the positive image, for example, of the father gives a positive connection with the masculine nature of a person in a form of self-confidence, good self-esteem, health, courage, physical strength, success in relationships, success in business, career, financial well-being, respect from society, support from elders, respect from authorities, role balance in relationships. You may ask, so what are the main signs of negative father complex in life? And there are actually 11 points that indicate that a person has a negative image of a father, which translates in the following circumstances. So first, personal life is not working out. Second, career difficulties, problems with work and income. Third, no sense of professional fulfillment. Fourth, difficult relationships with authorities, disrespect from them or suffering from them. Fifth, unhealthy dependence on a partner, loss of oneself in relationships or vice versa, dominance and control over a partner. 6-point relationship based on a model of victim, aggressor, and savior, lack of money, need to improve. There can be a feeling that I need to improve my worth or in order to be noticed. Ninth, such a person is often devaluated by others. And speaking about a woman, for example, who has a negative image of a father in her mind and in her subconscious, such a woman may play roles that are not hers. She may take on some, responsibilities that are not according to her role. She may be the one who saves, for example, rescues her parents, and on the other side, she may rely too much on her kids while actually she needs to provide support to her kids. And why is it happening? Because she feels the lack of support herself. So such symptoms can be observed in people who have obvious problems in relationship with fathers, as well as in the lives of those who have a good relationships with fathers, and also in lives of those who don't know their fathers at all. Therefore, you may say, why may different situations and relationship with fathers give similar results? Because we are not talking about the problems, right, in the relationships with the parent himself. We are talking about an unconscious image of a father in the mind that creates those situations. And I will share with you an example of working with my client. She came for my self-integrity coaching session with a problem that she wanted to work through. And the problem was with authorities. So basically, she couldn't respect any authority in her life because she did not trust anyone. And at the same time, she raised 2 kids by herself. And according to her husband was an abuser. And in addition to that, she doesn't remember her father. So she was avoiding men in general, and she didn't want any relationships with them, and she experienced some difficulties with finance. So I suggested that she work through the psychological image of her father in her mind, and to restore that contact with her masculinity that was creating these issues on both emotional and social levels. So, she became very skeptical about it. Why? Because her point was she didn't know her father, and how could she work through the issue with the image of her father in her mind if she doesn't even remember him? So we conducted an online transformational self-integrity coaching session and restored her connection with her masculinity. So to her surprise, she released 30 negative psychological beliefs that were blocking her masculinity and creating all those situations in her life. Moreover, her ex-husband actually exhibited that behavior that reflected her subconscious beliefs that she released during the process. So she asked me, where does it come from? I even don't know. I don't remember my father. And my answer was, we don't need to know. We don't need to remember. This is the image of a father imprinted in our subconscious. This is how she actually perceived the father, and not only her father, but also men in her life, authorities, and that perception reproduced her self-perception actually, and how she acted in life and what circumstances she was dealing in life. So after the process, she felt immediate optimism, humor, and lightness and joy that, as she said, she hadn't experienced for 20 years. So this is a very illustrative example that shows how it is necessary to work through your masculinity and femininity, first of all, in order to restore inner happiness and life resources related to those important natures. And even if you don't know your father, your parent, right? Or if, for example, everything is fine in relationships with your parent, the self-integrity process doesn't take the problem with the parents themselves and the relationships with them. The self-integrity coaching removes the negative beliefs and scenarios recorded in the subconscious, because those negative beliefs and scenarios create negative situations and reactions, and we feel them in our body, in our mentality, in our thinking process. When, for example, if I tell you what is the most unpleasant thing you have in your mind about man, and something will come out, and this, what comes out, may not coincide with your actual experience, but it is sitting in the subconscious, and that creates your experience with man. So any belief which is negative in our subconscious will create a similar circumstance. The problem is that we are not aware of those beliefs until you get into that special personal therapy with a specialist who is able to pull those beliefs out and I would say transform them so that you can reconnect with your actual happy inner self that everyone, each of us actually has. So the self-integrity, again, coaching removes negative beliefs and scenarios that create situations in our life. So you can visit my profile and see more about the relationships, about male and female programs, about the self-integrity and coaching itself, to familiarize yourself with how it works. At this point, I am ending this live meeting with you. It was my pleasure to share this knowledge with you because I believe it's very important, will help a lot of people. So share it with those you care, you believe, who may need it, and subscribe and save my blog if you like psychology, astrology, and spiritual development. My name is Raja Lalana. I am self-integrity transformational coach and family constellations therapist. as well as communications coach. And if you need personal help, please reach out and I will be very happy to assist you in your goals. That's it for today. Thank you for your attention and have a wonderful day. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them in the commentary. I'm responding to everyone and I will be very happy to respond to you as well. Okay, bye-bye for now.